Well, hello. This is the Doctor of Digital from the Doctor of Digital podcast. The purpose of the show is to transform your business and life with education and inspiration. I introduce busy business leaders to trends in business, technology, and marketing to highlight people you should know. Are you a service-based entrepreneur feeling stuck in the weeds? And do you dream of building a business that grants you freedom instead of chaining you to a desk? An impressive track record speaks for itself, and my guest has guided over 1,700 entrepreneurs from 26 countries in creating systems that fuel exponential growth. That's right, exponential growth. But expertise goes beyond just building systems. A seasoned pro can help you in the world of sales, marketing, and business development. With over a decade of experience across diverse industries, whether you're in energy, telecoms, or something completely different, you should understand the challenges you face and have the tools to help you overcome them. We will delve into the world of building business freedom. We'll explore how to leverage LinkedIn without falling prey to its best practices trap. Uncover the secrets of quality lead generation beyond the smoke and mirrors, and see how strategic automation can actually enhance, not replace, the human touch in building genuine B2B connections. During this episode, we'll do a deep dive into the changes and hot topics of building systems for the entrepreneur. We will leverage the expertise of my guest and how to navigate the unique dynamics of the field. By the end of this episode, you'll be better equipped to know what to do, and I encourage you to contact my guest, Matt Clark, the founder of Virtual Edge, a company with a track record from over 26 countries creating systems that fuel exponential growth. And with that, thank you to the program coming in. Welcome, Matt. How are you today?
Hey, Mick, doing absolutely amazing. And has anyone ever told you you've got such a good movie voice, announcer voice? It's amazing. I was like transfixed there.
Well, it's an odd thing. I said I worked in radio many years ago, and like a lot of people,
Yeah,
I'm a voice talent also. I don't like my own voice, but when people notice it, I go, "Oh, okay, great, thanks. I appreciate that."
yeah. No, it's good. I enjoyed it.
We're curious always about your background and what people do. So, could you tell us a little bit about your background? How did you
Yeah.
get in the field in the first place?
It was a crazy story. I actually started out doing door-to-door sales. And, my two business partners and I built up a company. We were doing $6 million a year, knocking on doors, no marketing, no sales. But one thing we had really
Hmm.
dialed in was our systems, how to find talent, how to train them, how to get them selling quickly, and how to deliver those services in the fastest and best manner possible. But
Okay.
I came to a realization that I didn't want to be so tied down by one place because it was stopping me from traveling. It was stopping me from having free time. I was working like a crazy person, burning myself out. I landed up in hospital a couple of times. I just burnt myself out completely.
Wow.
And I actually developed Crohn's disease, which
Oh,
was crazy. Yeah. And I managed to get myself over that. But I said to myself, I want to build something different. I want to have
okay.
time. I want to have freedom. I want to have
Yeah.
lifestyle. I want to be able to travel. I want to earn money from wherever I am doing whatever I want to do. And so we started diving into the online world. And I think like any business, it's tough in the beginning. You're trying to figure out what to do. And we started actually helping people. We became Infusionsoft certified partners, and I started helping people to automate their sales processes. That's where my
Yeah.
skill lies. And then we started realizing, well, people are getting these sales processes automated, but now you need to feed the beast. Now you've got to put some leads into the front end.
Hmm.
So we went and solved that problem. And I couldn't quite figure out Facebook and YouTube. And we dove into LinkedIn, and I realized I could virtually knock doors, exactly like what I was doing, but from
Hmm.
anywhere in the world, and skip the gatekeeper, skip any roadblock that comes in your way, and just speak to the person who I wanted to speak to. Which then led further down the road of, okay, now I need to give them a great offer. Now I need to systematize this process so that I can build it for scale. And we started diving even deeper into it. And one of the things that I found, because I landed up creating myself a glorified job all over again, now just online and stuck in
Right.
my office at home instead of out there knocking doors.
Yeah.
And so we redesigned the playbook and we said, well, how do we do this differently? And we built what we call our signature solution, our visual model of how we get our clients from point A to point B, created SOPs for that. And now we're in a place whereby we can deliver at scale, we can market like crazy, and more importantly, we help our clients do the same thing. And, we built these systems to solve our problems. And, now for the last 2 years, my wife and I have been traveling the world. We've been to 27 countries. We're still traveling at the moment, and we get to run our business from anywhere, have clients all over the world. And I tell you, it's a lot of fun being able to have that freedom and being able to do what you want when you want. So that's kind of how we got to today. We just look for the biggest problems. We look within ourselves, and then we look what our clients were facing, and we solved them piece by piece.
Sure. What you say some of the changes that have taken place? I'm curious about if you could elaborate a little bit on the LinkedIn notion as well too, because you say you want to
Sure.
avoid the best practices trap. So are those one of the changes or some changes that have taken place that you've seen?
Definitely. A couple of years ago when we started this and we really started diving deep into LinkedIn, it was actually pretty easy. You could get on, you could send tons of messages, you could really connect with a lot of people at the same
Hmm.
time. And then all these automation tools started coming out and people were going nuts. Like they were spamming people and sending out hundreds of messages a day and changed the algorithm, and accounts were getting shut down left, right, and center. So we had to rethink the model. And we had to think, well, how do we now take this outreach, because it's a hugely valuable platform, and how do we do
Yep.
it differently? How do we do it the right way, whereby we can still get the leads we want, but we have to play in their rules
Yeah.
of very limited outreach and very limited contacts, which then brought us to the next level, which was, okay, let's focus then on the brand, number one, that we're presenting out there, the message that we're putting out there. I want people to know how to work with us before they even talk to us. And then
Hmm.
let's start running events and inviting people to events. And, this and really focusing on going deep with the relationship instead of just spamming out messages and throwing spaghetti against the wall and hoping for the best. And when we did this, now it's just a steady stream coming through all the time. And, this is what we teach our clients to do as well is, we want to aim for 5 to 10 marketing qualified leads a week with 2 to 3 sales calls being booked in. And that's on the low side. Most of our clients only need 1 to 5 clients to hit their goals. They're service-based business owners, high-ticket offers. They're not looking to do 20, 40, 50 clients a month. They need 1 to 5, go deep, build relationships. And very often, they're hitting their goals of 30, 40, 50, up to $100,000 a month.
Nice. Are there some things that you would say are sort of the hot topics? I mean, one you're really saying is the change in LinkedIn. Are there other things that you feel would be hot topics currently?
Yeah, I would say that the biggest changes is that, and the biggest hot topic rather, is how you brand yourself and how you position yourself. Because LinkedIn gives you a certain amount of things that a certain amount of actions that you can take on a daily basis. And the only way to transcend those actions, I think it's 20 outreaches a day, is the
Okay.
only way to transcend that is by creating content that is going to start attracting people to you. This is building up your brand. This is positioning yourself correctly and making sure that you've got an offer that's aligned. So we use things like smart links to plug into the back and say, hey, do you want this? Go check out the smart link, and then follow up with conversations there. We
Hmm.
use direct offers. We invite people to webinars. So you want to start thinking a little bit more outside the box instead of just message and throw spaghetti against the wall and hope for the best.
For the average person or business, what would you generally recommend that they should be looking at now? Like what sort of tips or tricks would you say this is what they should be doing?
Yeah, absolutely. And so for especially service-based business owners, the number one thing is to get your message really dialed in. And what I mean by that is you want people to know how to work with you before they even talk to you. Because what this is going to do is increase your connection rates We want your connection rate sitting at above 50%. So how many connections you've sent, more than 50% need to be accepting those. We want your reply rates to be above 25%, and we want your SSI score to be above 70%. So what that means is daily actions that you're taking and getting that message dialed in is key. Having a professional banner that tells people what you do. They know how to work with you before they talk to you. Having a professional picture, using case studies on your LinkedIn profile. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people making, is they don't use enough case studies. Treat it like a landing page, right? And then when you reach out and you get to the stage of actually going out and generating leads, be hyper targeted. The more targeted you are, the more your message is going to align, the more conversations you're going to open, the more people are going to actually want to get on calls with you.
Got it. So in terms of expertise, I'd say, a lot of times say there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of folks who are saying a lot of things. It's a generalization, right? So if a person, like
Yes.
just what you have saying, like before a person talks to you, what would you say your expertise is, and what would you do if you took an existing business or existing CEO or business leader to take them to the next level? Like, what is your expertise? I'd say.
Amazing. Yeah, great question. And so what we help our clients do is that we help them create a message that attracts their ideal client, brand and position them correctly on LinkedIn, create an offer that converts fast, and then put a system in place using automation and AI to buy back time, right? While generating consistent lead flow the whole way through. And when I say lead flow, I mean opportunities. Some people want client leads. Some people want speaking opportunities. Some people are looking for joint ventures and partners. So we're not just stuck on how do we get more clients. I want to know how do we get more opportunities. And having this thread congruent all the way through is the fastest way to build that.
So you would take, say, an existing business and really brand them correctly, position them correctly, message them correctly. Because one of the things I say about in terms of your background is that you're really emphasizing systems more than anything else, right? That you've got to put the system in place in order to move that business forward.
Absolutely. And, it is a repeatable system that you can put in place. And it's once you've got that message, that positioning, that offer dialed in, then we want to have a system that's going to do the outreach for you, that's going to do the follow-up for you, where you can consistently communicate with people, a system for your content creation. And when you've got that dialed in, you can literally sit for, an hour at the beginning of each week, have everything, press play, have everything running, and check in 20, 30 minutes a day and just respond to people that are really interested in talking to you a bit more.
And you had said, I'd made a reference to AI, which is a hot topic. So maybe you could elaborate a little bit more on that as well. Like, how do you automate that system and how do you get the AI working for you? Because it should cut down on a lot of excess time.
Absolutely. So we've actually got a tool that we use that automates the outreach, the connections. It does all the manual repetitive tasks that people used to hire VAs for in the past. Now, the next step is that we've got AI built into it to actually personalize each and every single conversation. So it'll read the person's profile, come up with a message. So we've already put in all the templates and all the frameworks in based on, the proven process of 1,800 businesses beforehand. And what it'll then do is it'll take that framework, it'll look at the person's profile, craft a customized message as if you've gone and looked through it, and then write a personalized message to that person. Then when they start responding, we use the AI again, click the button, and what it'll do is it'll read the previous message, look at the next step in the framework that we've taught it, and it'll give a response to that as well. So now you're never guessing what to say or how to say it, or forgetting your sales process or your conversation process. Now you can click a button and it does the heavy lifting for you in a personalized manner and in your voice, more importantly.
Yeah, and that's what I think is really interesting. And you're showing a very excellent way to use AI so that the criticism has always been it's kind of distant, it's cold, and it's not so direct. But in this way, it's personalized to the individual, and you've got a system in place so a person is almost like it's plug and play. It's just going to keep on keeping that machine rolling. How did you
As long
get?
as you've got something to train it on.
Yeah,
You
well,
need to
that's it.
train
I
it on
mean,
your voice.
and that's what I think is key. It's both having the system in place, but then also really it is a person to person kind of a exchange
Exactly.
on relationship rather than saying I'm sticking you with a machine, right? Because people will pick up on that.
100%. 100%. It's one of the biggest complaints and the biggest questions
Right.
that people ask me before they come to work with me is, I get so many of these messages a day. You can see someone just copied and pasted this thing.
Yep.
They're saying, well done for this job in something that I did 20 years ago or in an industry that I'm not even involved in. And it annoys me. And so we want to make sure that we're hyper targeted with the people we're reaching out to, and we're sending them personalized messages. And the goal is then, once we start opening up that conversation, how do we take them from a LinkedIn conversation into either a text or a phone call or an in-person meetup, depending on your business model, and as quick as possible.
Is there one of the now we gotten to the point where AI is really going so quickly and developing so quickly? Is there one that you recommend or one that you use more than others? Because now we've got some pretty good options out there.
Yeah, we've got our own tool. It's called myrainmaker.ai.
Okay.
And yeah, we've got our own tool that we use for it. And everything is built in, and we've already built the frameworks and templates and scripts. But if you're looking for, basically we'd use ChatGPT to come up with some stuff, make it really personalized, and then put it in. We don't really go too crazy with too many tools because it's like shiny object syndrome. You'll end up spending so much time researching these things and looking at all this stuff, and not enough time on the marketing. And then people wonder why, well, I don't have any leads coming in. Well, because you're sitting learning all these AIs instead of focusing on generating leads and building connections and conversations.
Right. It's that great expression, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? So once you get
You
this
got it.
system down, you got it and run with it
100%.
because it works. So we've talked about some of the changes. We talked about some of the hot topics, your expertise, and everything that you do. What would you recommend a person do before they get a hold of you to look at, and then how do they follow up and contact you?
Awesome. So what they can do we've actually got a really cool gifts page where I've got some free resources that people can go take a look at. It's called
Awesome.
rainmakergifts.com. And you can actually play around with some of the AI tools that we've built, where you can build out your 90-day LinkedIn game plan. You can do your profile review. We can review some of your strategies, your offers, and actually give you some real feedback on there based on what we've experienced over the past 8 years with 1,800 clients.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be what I would recommend, and as the first step. And then if people want to get hold of me, they can either connect with me on LinkedIn, Matt Clark Rainmaker, or they can email me, matt@thevirtualedge.com, or they can visit our website, thevirtualedge.com. Pretty simple and straightforward.
Yeah, that's it. It's keeping it simple. So that's awesome. Matt, thanks a lot.
100%.
You shared a lot of information and it's really valuable. So I appreciate you taking out some time from your busy schedule and visiting today. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Mick.
You bet. So if, for example, you like to hear things that have a real impact on your business and your personal life, and I love this expression, is like, don't be tied to a desk. Don't be chained to it. You want to live a life that Matt is leading, that he's also leading and growing his business and traveling and having a great time. So, if you like this interview and others like it, make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and positively review the Doctor of Digital podcast, because we are trying to bring the best that we can find and good information for you. So until next time, this is the Doctor of Digital signing out and signing off. Until next time, Deus Volt.